Imagine you die and suddenly your spirit begins to cross worlds that no one has ever seen before. What if death is not the end at all but a gateway to a last chance, to liberation? This is exactly what the Tibetan Book of the Dead, in the original Bardo Thodol, tells us. An ancient work of scripture that not only explains what happens after death, but also shows us how we can awaken through it. It was written centuries ago, not as a philosophical text, but as a practical guide for the dying. A spiritual navigation system through the unknown. So what happens when we die? In Tibetan Buddhism, the path then begins through three so-called bardos, three transitional phases of the spirit. 1. The bardo of death, Chikai Bardo. The moment the physical body dies, consciousness dissolves, and then it appears, the clear radiant cause of being, the so-called clear light. If you recognize this light as your true self, you can free yourself immediately, but beware, for many it is too intense, too alien, they are afraid, withdraw, and the journey continues. 2. The Bardo of Visions, Chönyid Bardo. This is where the spirit begins to encounter itself. Gods, lights, visions appear, but they are not beings from outside. They are your own thoughts, desires, fears. At first, peaceful figures appear, symbols of compassion and wisdom. But soon the wrathful apparitions follow, terrifying, wild, overwhelming. But the crucial thing is, all of this is yourself. When you realize that these are just projections of your mind, you have the chance to awaken again. However, if you lose yourself in fear or desire, then the path will lead you further. 3. The Bardo of Rebirth, Sidpa Bardo. Now your karma reveals itself. This is where you decide where your journey will take you next. A new birth in the world of humans, animals, or other existences. The choice is not conscious, it is controlled by your deepest impulses. The cycle of birth and death begins again. Unless you break it.